What is going on, y'all? It's Andrea here at VW Family Farm. We are about to take a garden tour, but first off, my favorite tree is about to turn. I'm so excited. I love fall, favorite season. I love the fall garden. There's just so many things about fall that I love. But we are doing great. We shared with you on the last video that Ben did test positive for the coronavirus, but we are doing really well. I really feel like maybe everyone's had it. We've all been kind of drugged down and just blah, but we're bouncing back. We actually have some special people in our life that were really affected by it, and so we're thinking about them, praying for them, and just some of them have recovered. We're thankful for that. Others have not, and so my heart just goes out to everyone affected by this. So just love you all and thinking about you all. So let's get to this garden tour. So these are looking so beautiful. I am hoping to be able to get some rose hips this fall. They're just looking magnificent. The peach ones have climbed completely up the arbor. The rooster's talking to me. In just one season, they have taken this arbor over. I am loving this arbor. So we can't do an actual legit garden tour without coming in the greenhouse, because this is the time of year our garden does start to transition in here, and then we have fresh things to eat all winter. And that is actually why I wanted this greenhouse in the first place, was salad greens all winter long, because I'm a big food stocker, food preserver, all those types of things, canner. I have bulk foods in buckets, all kinds of crazy things, but I had no way to have fresh greens all the time. So that is where this idea of this greenhouse came into play, and boy is it showing out right now. So you can see things are really thriving in there in the greenhouse. I've also got those cabbages I need to get in the ground. I've still got plenty of time to grow those, especially under a frost blanket. Even if we get our first frost, they will still thrive under there. I wanted to mention this back here real quick. Look at that sea of green. And we actually don't have any special fancy equipment to spread that seed. Ben did all of that by hand. That is almost our entire front garden, looking gorgeous. That is a mixture of several different things, and I'm going to let him here in a minute tell you what it is and why he planted all of that. This is another thing we've done really well at growing this year, is fire ants. These peas behind me, these purple hull peas, are about to be in all their glory. They are growing like crazy. They're putting on peas. They're starting to turn purple, so it shouldn't be long at all, and we should have tons of peas. And I think I'm gonna actually can some and probably freeze some as well. They're just really good to have to eat, as well as to put in different dishes and things like that. And look at Miss Ma'am here, getting to run around, shake that fluffy booty. She's having a blast. She doesn't get a whole lot of freedom off of a leash and things, so we decided to set up this. This is actually poultry netting. We decided to set this up for her, and she's having a ball, just getting to run around, and she respects it pretty good, don't you, Pep? You doing good? So I'm growing up. I'm almost 1 year old. It's almost my birthday. So I found the man of the hour. Ben, how are you feeling? I know people are going to be wondering.
I'm feeling pretty good. Good enough to run a hoe.
So I told him we were going to be doing a garden tour, and he said, oh, we cannot show that back row of squash. We've let it get some weeds in it. And I know you probably have too. Fall gardens just get some weeds because a lot of us are tired. We're tired of the battle against the weeds we fought all summer. And so we just kind of let it go. And plus the weeds grow slower. We don't have as near as much grass and weeds, I don't think. Do you, Ben?
Oh, no.
Nothing.
Just get blind to them and
yeah,
I'll get them later.
It's kind of makes me feel like those weeds that are slow growing that you kind of just let creep in, those are the ones that sneak up on you, and then you look up and you got a garden full of weeds. There's a lot of deep thinking that could go into that. So if you got weeds, might want to be checking and getting them plucked out. So he's getting this looking good. Let me show you what all squash we have, because the squash is starting to rocket, and I'm so glad because we have not had much squash this entire growing season. So one thing that really loves the fall here in Arkansas, if you can just hold on through those summer months, is peppers. They really grow and take a long time to grow throughout the summer here. And then about the time a lot of things are winding down, they crank up. But one thing we have learned this year, we tried a lot of companion planting this year, and some of it worked and some of it didn't. And we had read to companion plant okra and peppers, but that did not work out for us. Maybe if you had your okra way more thinned out than we did, and we did thin ours out, but okra can grow fairly close together. And we stuck some peppers down in between some of those okra plants, and they just did not get enough sun, and they just struggled. They barely lived all summer. But now that the okra is dying back, those same pepper plants are coming on just a little bit, and we may get a few peppers off of them. But they definitely did not thrive, so that is not something we will be doing again. So you can see we have jelly melons growing right now. They're okay. They're not something we'd probably give space to in the garden again, but they were fun to grow. And sometimes that's one of the things Emily wanted to grow. Sometimes when your kids want to grow something, you just go with it, because getting kids in the garden is the main thing.
So this right here is one of our favorite hoes. To me, it's in the shape of a bat. It's just really easy to work in the garden. If you got loose soil, I mean, this thing will rake right under and cut the roots. One of the just top go-to tools out in the garden that I just grab just to come out and do a little bit of weeding. So there's your little tidbit of my advice.
So that's it. We're still standing a few feet apart. That's what we've got growing in the garden. You can see we're still getting groceries and food out of there. I'm so excited about all the squash. Hopefully we'll get some of those winter squashes to get on and get bigger. And I told you, Ben would tell you, he did all that ground cover out front. So I wanted him to tell you what he planted, and I told him you didn't even have to have any special planters. You just did all that by hand.
Every bit of it by hand. I do got a broadcast spreader, but I couldn't find it at the moment, so I just went out there and started throwing it by hand, because that night that I done that, we had a rain coming. That was a perfect opportunity to get it in there, so I wanted to get all that out there.
So what all did you plant out there?
Let's see, we planted the tillage radish, broadleaf mustard, and red clover. That is in the garden over there where your purple hull peas are. That's just going to be 100% building the soil back up. It's going to add nutrients to your soil. It's going to give it a good cover for weed suppression during the winter and early spring. And then go ahead.
I also understand that those root crops like that you can plant for cover crops will draw up nutrients from deeper in the soil, whereas maybe your topsoil is depleted but you have nutrients underneath, so they'll draw those up, and then those will be there near the surface next year for your plants to thrive off of.
So I got all those seeds from Hostel, but I also planted over where our bees are and where we pulled up all the sweet potatoes and our white potatoes. I just had a local company around here that I bought a big sandwich bag of purple top turnip. So you're gonna have plenty of turnips for the winter, turnip greens. We'll probably even pick some of the mustard greens out of this side over here, plus what greens are in the greenhouse. So we'll have plenty of greens for this winter.
So you can definitely plant things for cover crops and then eat off those too, and leave some for the soil building. So that's it. You know anything else? That's what we've got going on around here. Of course, we've got little bits of things here and there. My strawberries are starting to bloom again. They've got a few little strawberries on them. I'll take you over there before we wrap this up. And then my herb beds are still going. There's lots of basil and parsley and all those types of things out there. So there's just little bits here and there. It's fun because none of it just takes over and you have to work at it all day, every week. Because in the summer, I have to budget a big amount of my time to working in the garden, and that is wrapped up. So,
but one thing you need to be thinking of right now, it is getting close to time to plant
garlic.
That is correct. Garlic has been very hard to find. We have never personally planted garlic that you get straight from the grocery store. I have heard of success stories of people doing that. I can't say one way or the other.
It's worth a try.
I've heard it works. It's worth a try. I do know that Hostel, we got our batch for this fall in, and they'd already sold out once, but they got another batch in. That's what we're going with this year.
We've spoken with Baker Creek. There's a chance they'll have a small amount. I don't know that there's going to be an abundance of anything anywhere. So if it's something you want, you might have to start looking around.
You might have to pay a little extra.
You may have to pay a little extra. You may have to snatch it up when it's available. I'm not like saying go be greedy and fight over it, but I'm saying like when it comes available, don't just put it off thinking I'll buy that now, I'll get to that next week, because it might not be there, because there's so much food insecurity right now. People are really looking back to the home garden. Who knows if that will continue when this all dies down? It may be totally different next year and back to where we can get everything we want. But the fact is, it's just not that way right now. So be planning, be thinking. Here in our zone also, it is time to start thinking in the next month or so about sprouting onions from seeds, if you're gonna do that. We are always late to that game. And so we've never actually done it to where we were like, we did that on time and that was awesome. Now, if you don't want to sprout onion seeds, our favorite place to get them,
Dixondale Farm.
Dixondale Farms. So you can always just wait and order onion sets. Again though, who knows what the supply and demand is going to be. So it's always just good to have a backup plan. So that's some things. Let's go look at the strawberries and herb beds, and then we will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
I'm fixing to go pick some cucamelons. That's one of the things we grew this year that I've really enjoyed. I love throwing them things in a salad. Just a little bit of a hint of cucumber to me, and easy to grow.
All right, so we will see you tomorrow. We're gonna tomorrow have a bunch of farm updates, things that situations we took you around for in the last few months, cow illnesses and abscesses and all those things. We're gonna update you on those. How are all those cows doing and all those animals?
And so make sure to come back tomorrow and catch that video. We'll see y'all guys later. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Gotta throw in a guest appearance by my two favorite ladies. Hey Miracle and Miss Marvel. How you doing, Tweety?